Alright guys, today we're going to learn how to draw a cylinder. We're going to start at the top with an ellipse. I like to put a dot on each side to kind of give me a boundary. How wide is this cylinder going to be? I want it this wide, so I'll put a dot on this side and a dot on the other. From one dot to the other, we're going to draw something called an ellipse. It's like an oval that's been super duper squished. That's a decent start. From here, you're going to need two straight lines that are parallel to one another. So they're going to run the same direction. They're never ever going to touch. They're both going to run vertically, straight up and down. Start at the very edge of your ellipse and bring it straight down. From the very edge, well, that wasn't straight down. Straight down. If it'll focus in, we'll continue on. There we go. Now to finish this guy off, from one side to the other, we're going to put another ellipse, and it's going to be as close to being a clone of this first guy as we can make. So it's going to be about this high and about this wide. It's going to curve up and then curve down. Da 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 da. A cylinder. In science, they use tons and tons of cylinders. If we were going to take this guy and turn him into a beaker, you know most beakers have those little spouts, those little areas that stick out that you can pour stuff out of really easily. We could add in a spout by adding just a little lip on the edge, but then it's not connected in. We'll need to connect him in and erase these stray marks because we don't need them there anymore. Now he has a little bit of a lip. If we wanted to make a flask shape, we would do these same things. I'm going to turn my paper because I'm running out of room. You would start with this, with a ellipse, lines that go straight down, another ellipse for the bottom. Now if it's a flask, it's going to flare outwards, either in a conical shape like a cone or in a roundish shape like a sphere. I'm going to do a conical one and then I'll do a sphere based one. If it's a conical one, I think the easiest way to do it is to go from the sides, try and get angles that match, and then get your bottom ellipse in the bottom. But make sure that you connect it to the edges of your ellipses. If it's not connected up to the edges, it's going to look funny. I'll show you what I mean with this next one. So I have an ellipse. I have my two straight lines. If this bottom ellipse doesn't connect to the edges, it's going to start looking a little funny. Make sure that your ellipses are connecting to the edges and vice versa. The edges are connecting to ellipses. If not, it's going to look just a little strange. Yeah, a little strange. Let's do a spherical flask. So one with a sphere at the bottom. Start with an ellipse, two straight sides, another ellipse. I think I'm going to go straight down to the bottom with this bottom ellipse. And then from edge to edge, make it nice and rounded. From edge to edge, make it nice and rounded. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So I got a beaker, a conical flask, a spherical flask. Oh, I almost forgot. Graduated cylinders. Those are the big ones. It would work the same though. Start with an ellipse at the top, straight sides, as straight as you can make them. If you use a ruler, it'll turn out so much better. I'm just freehanding it And you can tell because my lines are not super straight. That and this camera just doesn't want to cooperate right now. It keeps going out of focus. I need you to focus. Oh, there it went. So from one edge to the other, ellipse. And then graduated cylinders usually have these nifty little boxes that they sit on, like a little foot or a pedestal that they sit up on top of. So we can put in a parallelogram or a rhombus kind of a shape. Bring our edges down and then get the bottom edge of this. Ta-da! Graduated cylinder. It's only missing hash marks so that the scientist can measure the liquid. All of these will need hash marks, but I'll get to that later. Remember, keep your edges lined up to your ellipses. If not, it's going to look weird like that. You're going to have like a three-eyed question mark weird face. That's the face I'll make if you do this. Make sure ellipses are lined up to edges and edges are lined up to ellipses. Today, your job is to pick any three types of scientific measuring cylinders and draw them. If you need rulers, I will put them out so that you will have them at your disposal.